name is Morgan. I'm the founder of Okashi, and Okashi is the developer playground for blockchain developers. Now, the problem we're trying to solve is that smart contract development is hard, all right? If you're a developer that's just getting started and you want to do the canonical Hello World example running on your machine, then you're looking at environment setup that can take hours for someone that's just a beginner. And that can be a showstopper and people drop off. Then if you've got your environment set up, then you want to call your functions in the contract, and well, that includes calling them with transactions, which is serializing and deserializing data in binary formats that help knows what people need to do to create. And then finally, there's a whole generation of developers that are used to console.log in their debugging journeys. And that just doesn't exist in smart contract platforms. Well, with Okashi, we're trying to solve that. So this is Okashi. It's a web platform for writing, playing around with smart contracts. And it's enabled by Soroban, which is the smart contract platform for Stellar, which is the top 20 blockchain out there. It's recently released. It's going to mainnet in January. Now, how does Okashi work? Well, this bento style layout here, you interact with your contract in various different ways. So you got your code here. How do you call your contract? It's not a transaction, it's 3 buttons. So this contract has 3 functions, publicly exposed. They get transformed into buttons. You call a button, you get a human readable output in the Okashi console. And this is all simulated in the browser. So you can lose your internet connection, click increment 100 times, and you get instant feedback, which is what developers are expecting. You can also inspect ledger state in visual format, which is incredibly hard to do. This is based on a Rust C compiler, and if anyone knows Rust, you know that this is the best in the business when it comes to compiler messages and debugging your contracts, and we expose that directly in the browser. When calling contracts with arguments, you serialize them with incredible UX that's super accessible for people, especially, look, this is an address, and these are like 64 characters long, base 32 encoded. For us, we use Alex, Bart, or Callie. What's simpler for someone that's getting started into blockchain? I want to call this contract as Alex, I want to call this contract as Bart. We launched in March with a closed beta with $10 per admittance. We had 15 users paying that amount to gain access, which was a way for us to validate, yes, people are going to pay to use the service. In October, we opened this up to free-to-use beta. We have over 1,200 users as of this moment, and this is on our goal to eventually onboarding 10 million developers to blockchain, which is all of the web developers that are out there. Our core team is myself and Johannes. We have experience building stuff from 0 to 1, working for billion-dollar unicorns, leading teams, raising funding from unicorn funders like Y Combinator and stuff. We want to create partnerships. We want you to think of Okashi when you think of blockchain developers. Thank you so much.
No? Yes? No? No? It will not work?
I'll just be loud.
You are loud.
Then we just have a couple of minutes, so
We only have one microphone.
Okay.
Cool.
Then
I'll-
let it be there, because I suppose you are 4 of you. You can of course shout.
Yeah, we can start.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the presentation. It seems like a great tool for developers. I was curious to, maybe you can talk about like who you see are the main competitors providing similar developer tools, and what are the key advantages of yours?
I don't consider blockchain IDEs as competitors here. I look at Sandbox and REPL as competitors in the sense that they're onboarding experiences for stuff like React or JavaScript. That's bar none the best. And I want Okashi to be literally, when you think about blockchain development, when you think about Sandbox and REPL, you'll think of Okashi for smart contract development. There's Truffle and IDEs, but they're not simulated in the browser. You don't get that instant feedback, which is enabled by Soroban and Okashi.
So what is the market size for this? How big this can grow, and how much do you charge those developers for?
We're in an open beta, free to use, so no one's charging anything right now. Like I said, $10 a pop for the closed alpha. We collect $150 to get started. The market size, I think, is all the web developers out there that will eventually transition to blockchain. That's a market size that's huge. There's career path development opportunities there, recruiting opportunities beyond just the freemium model, which is charging for premium services. So I think this is definitely a pretty big business if established fully.
And how do you compete with ChatGPT?
ChatGPT does not have a UI. People need a UI.
They do have UI.
It just sucks.
You cannot call a contract on ChatGPT. There's AI assistants that are good for people that have already developed an intuition. This is for developing an intuition and that rapid iteration. So I think it's a complementary tool, and I feel like an AI assistant could be one of those widgets in the bento box on Okashi instead of like a competitor.
You know how ChatGPT works? Like you can prompt, please train me on a smart contract, right? Write me some functions, execute them. Right, it's totally possible with ChatGPT, and I think that's going to be one of the biggest challenge in this kind of company process, because that's what people are already using actually, right? Yeah, it's already there, right? And it provides more than just smart contracts, right? It can explain you any feature in much details actually. So that's why I asked the question: how do you compete with them?
I feel like text-based assistants will not replace GUIs anytime soon or ever. It's a niche. GUI is a niche, and they will coexist.
Why Stellar?
So Soroban enables a completely browser-based simulated host environments, and Okashi fully leverages that. I couldn't do this on Ethereum. I cannot simulate Ethereum in the browser. I could disconnect the internet and still do what the screenshot showed you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.